Hello students, today let us discuss the topic of socio-economic analysis of communities part 1. In this, let us understand the meaning of social structure and social system, comprehend the different basic social concepts, appreciate the role of family as a social unit. In general, social structure refers to an ordered or organized arrangement of elements in the society. Social structure refers to the pattern of social relationships in a society. Such structure regulates the interactions among members of the society, providing guidelines within the social norms for achieving the goals defined by cultural values. Generally, social structure maintains social stability. Social structure is the distinctive, stable system of social relations that exists in any human society. On the macro scale, social structure is the system of socio-economic stratification, social institutions and other pattern relations between large social groups. On the micro scale, it can be the way norms shape the structure of actors within the social system. Both microstructure and macrostructure can be found within social structure. It is not concerned with people as individuals, in groups or in organizations forming the society, nor the ultimate goal of the relationship. Rather, social structure deals with the organization of the relationships, how they are arranged into patterns. Concept of social structure assumes that human social relations are not arbitrary or coincidental, but rather they follow certain patterns that can be identified. Social structure is the institutional framework that makes for order in repetitive, rhythmic interactions among people. Social structure describes the way in which society is organized into predictable relationships and patterns of social interaction. These patterns are to some extent independent of the particular individual, as they exert a force that shapes individual behavior and the identity of the society. Society uses norms to control acceptable methods of achieving culturally approved values, for example, wealth. When these norms and values come into conflict, the social and regulatory structures become strained, and the result is either social change or a breakdown in the functioning of the social structure. So, one must recognize that social structure cannot be fixed, static and universal. Social structure is seen as comprising the relationships themselves, understood as patterns of causal interconnection and interdependence among agents and their actions, as well as the positions that they occupy. Now, let us understand a social system. A social system is the patterned series of interrelationships existing between individuals, groups and institutions and forming a coherent whole. The term system implies an orderly arrangement and interrelationship of parts. In the arrangement, every part has a fixed place and definite role to play. The parts are bound by interaction. To understand the functioning of a system, for example, the human body, one has to analyze and identify the subsystems. For example, circulatory, nervous, digestive, excretory systems, etc. and understand how these various subsystems enter into specific relations in the fulfillment of the organic function of the body. A social system made up of differentiated roles that maintain systematic relations among themselves. Each role is defined in the value system shared by the individuals who form the society, so that the society is ruled by cultural norms that are transmitted from one generation to the next by a process of socialization. Individuals internalize these roles in their infancy. The members or units of social system may be individuals, informal groups, organizations and subsystems. Therefore, social system may be described as an arrangement of social interactions based on shared norms and values. According to André Betteley, there are two types of social systems, harmonic and disharmonic. Harmonic social system means the system in which there is consistency between normative order and the existential order. It means there will be consistency between the order of prescribed standards and the order that shape the individual's destiny. Society is divided into groups which are placed high and low, and the divisions and their ordering are considered as right, proper and desirable, or as a part of natural scheme of things. India is a good example of such system. There is a basis for and a practice of inequality. There is no fundamental contradiction, whereas disharmonic system, which by contrast shows a lack of consistency between the normative and the existential orders. That means the norm of equality is contradicted by the persuasive existence of inequality. Modern Western civilization is a best example, including America in its later history, where despite the idealization of equality, the class structure continues to be an important part of Western social reality. While understanding the meaning of social structure and social system, we have come across certain terms like society, socialization, social control, social interaction, social stratification, norms, values, etc. Now, let us understand the meaning of these concepts. Society. Society refers to people in a community with similar culture and civilization. For example, urban society, rural society. Let us see the structural elements of society. First, identity. It refers to the characteristics that differentiate one society from the other. For example, residence, caste, religion, progressiveness, etc. distinguishes society to society. Second, composition. It refers to making up of the society. Society is composed of male, female, educated, uneducated, rural, urban, traditional, modern, etc. Third, intergroup relations. It refers to relation between groups, relationship between villages, castes, classes. The next term, socialization. It is a process by which an individual is conducted into one's social and cultural world. It is a process of learning which starts from the birth. The society, right from the mother and home, teaches the individual the rules and regulations of the society in which the individual is the member. Socialization process involves the development of the personality, attitudes, habits and expected social roles. The next term, social stratification. This refers to the arrangements of the individuals or groups of people into hierarchically arranged strata in a community. A community may appear as homogeneous, example urban, rural, etc. But there may be internal inequalities, divisions and distinctions. These distinctions become patterned and stabilized with unequal distribution of privileges, power and status positions. The determinants of status are wealth, ancestry, functional utility of the individual, religion, biological characteristics. Wealth, its quantity and quality, example income, standard of living. Ancestry, its nationality, ethnic background, length of residence in the area, family reputation. Functional utility of the individual such as education, occupation, skills. Religion, the kind and degree of religion followed. Next, biological characteristics such as male, female, age. The next term is social interaction. It refers to dynamic interplay of forces in which contact between persons and result in modification of attitudes and behavior of the participants. The next term, social institution. It is an organized system of social relationships which represent certain common values and procedures and meet certain basic needs of the society. They are culturally approved patterns of behavior including prescribed roles and procedures and are grouped to satisfy some basic social needs. They continue long enough to be considered as permanent institutions. The basic social institutions are family, religion, economy, education and government. The next term, social control. Social control is the pattern of influence the society exerts on individuals and groups to maintain order and establish rules in the society. Social control helps in maintenance of desired social values. The next term is norms. They are established behavior patterns for the members of a social system. The members are expected to follow them. A member who deviates them is considered as deviant of the system. Example, greeting elders. The next term is culture. It is a complex whole of knowledge, belief, art, morals, laws, customs and other capabilities and habits acquired by the people as members of society. It is a social heritage inclusive of material, non-material aspects. House, food, clothing, tools, equipments and other material items are material aspects, while family, kin group, caste group, education, political organizations, government, economic system, religion, etc. are non-material aspects. The next term is values. Values refer to what people considered as valuable and desirable. It can be defined as expressions of preferences. Values are learned and tend to be linked together amicably to form patterns. It varies from culture to culture in accordance with relative worth given to them by each culture. Family is a group defined by sex relationships sufficiently specific and enduring to provide for the procreation and upbringing of children. According to anthropologists, a family is a group characterized by common residence, economic cooperation and reproduction. It includes adults of both sexes, at least two of whom maintain a socially approved sexual relationship and one or more of their children of their own or adopted by the sexually cohabit adults. May 15th is celebrated as the International Day of the Family. Categorization is done as follows according to blood relations living together. Nuclear or primary family of husband, wife and their unmarried children. Joint family, which is an aggregation of more than one primary family on the basis of close blood relationships and common residence. A number of generations may be living together. The next is according to stage of life. Family of origin or family of orientation is the family in which one is born and gets initial orientation to the norms of the family and the society. Family of procreation is the family which one sets up after marriage. The next category according to numerousness of husbands and wives. Polygamous family is the family where a man marries more than one wife. Polyandrous family where a woman is married to more than one man, usually several brothers. The next category is according to rule of lineage. Patrilineal family in which determination of descent and property inheritance takes place along the male line. Matrilineal family, in which determination of descent and property inheritance takes place along the female line. The next category is according to rule of residence. Patrilocal family is one where married couple and their offsprings put up with the husband's family or in a new household set up by the husband. Matrilocal family is one where the husband goes to live with the family of his wife and the family line goes with the mother. Family as a functional unit. Family is the most universal and fundamental social institution which performs a variety of functions in human society. The main functions of family are: family is a social institution in which it is socially acceptable to reproduce. Family is the social unit in which the norms of sexual behavior are most clearly defined. Satisfaction of sex needs is one of the most essential functions of family. Family offers protection to its members. Certainly, young and old need social and economic support as well as constant care in order to survive and become contributing members of the society. The family is the venue in which much of this takes place. Family acts as a socializing agent that monitors the behavior of its members, particularly its children, and teaches them to differentiate between what the society regards as acceptable versus unacceptable behavior and act in a manner that is appropriate for the needs of the society. The family unit offers affection and companionship to its members, thereby helping them to feel secure and satisfied. Family provides social status to their members. One's initial position within a society is a result of the social standing and status of one's family. In addition, the resources of the family help one to attain a higher social status by taking advantage of higher education or other opportunities. Before the institution of preschool system, the education of a society's young took place in the home. Much of the religious education of children and even the continuing religious activities of individuals took place within the family. Example, family devotions. Changes in the functions of family. Societal change has a negative impact on the family by weakening the consensus on which it is based. As a result, during times of societal transition, families become disorganized and do not well meet their traditional purposes. For example, in modern society, the social institution of the family is breaking down under the strain being experienced by society as a result of rapid social change. These changes often result in a shift in the functions typically carried out by the family to other social institutions. Changes in the functions of sexual regulation. Premarital and extramarital relations are increasing. Number of prostitution centers, bars, etc. are also increasing. Marriages are made in temples and in court without the permission of parents. Modern family fails to exercise its traditional control in regulating sexual behavior of its members. In recent decades, in Western countries, the patterns of family life have started to change. Marriage rates have declined, marriage was postponed to a later age, and cohabitation increased. Cohabitation refers to unmarried couples who live together without formally registering their relation as a marriage. Cohabitation or live-in relationships in India, though not illegal, is considered socially and morally improper. Cohabitation is prevalent mostly among the people living in metro cities in India. Another form of sexual behavior discussed nowadays in media, even in India, is homosexuality. It is an enduring pattern of emotional, romantic and sexual attractions, primarily or exclusively to people of the same sex. If it is among men, they are called gay, and lesbian is the word used for women. Changes in the reproductive functions of family. In traditional society, reproductive function was one of the most important essential functions of family. Cohabitation and births to unmarried mothers increased. With the development of science and technology, test tube babies are born and surrogated mothers are used for the birth of a child. Since long time, birth of more number of children is discouraged due to higher population growth. Changes in the child rearing function. This function has been shifted to other agencies such as Anganwadi Kendra, preschools, nursery school, etc. Working women at present prefer to send their children to these agencies. As a result, children are debarred from family affection and family ties. Changes in the protective function of family. Family used to protect its members against all odds. Its responsibility is to provide security and protection to the aged, deceased, handicapped, etc. But nowadays this important function of family has been taken over by other specialized agencies such as hospitals, rehabilitation centers, old age homes, etc. Next, changes in the socialization function of family. Human child becomes a human being living under the direct and personal care of family members. But nowadays, family plays very less role in the socialization process of its children. Some of the socialization functions of family are being performed by many other socialized agencies such as preschool, school, colleges, etc. Next, changes in the education function of family. Once, family was the first school in children, but now family's role in education has declined a lot. Preschool, school, colleges, university and technical institutions took the place of family and teachers replaced parents. Besides, it is not possible to acquire modern education from family. The next unit is changes in the economic function of family. Family was the major source of financial support to its members. Most of its economic functions are being performed by the factory or industrial units. In ancient times, family was a center of production, processing and consumption. For example, in the family farm, family members used to produce, process and consume the food. But now, family remains only as a consumption unit. Family members now prefer to work in offices, industries than to work in agriculture. As a result, economic importance of family declined manifold. Changes in health related function. Family used to play an important role in providing medical treatment to its deceased members and in taking care of the health of its members. Due to lack of time and money, this role is gradually declining. The next unit is changes in religious function of family. In traditional society, family was the center of worship and religious activities. But in modern times, this religious functions of family has also undergone a great change. People are becoming secular in their attitude and outlook, and secularism became the ideal of family. Religious practices and festivals lost their traditional importance. As a result, a great change is marked in the religious functions of family. The next is changes in the recreational function of family. In traditional societies, family was the center of all kinds of recreation. But in modern times, the recreational functions of the family has been shared by different external agencies such as hotels, parks, clubs, movies, etc. With the change in the society, recreation became commercialized. Instead of listening stories from grandparents, now children prefer to watch television and prefer to go for outings. The last unit, changes in the socio-cultural function of family. Traditional family acts as an important agency of social control. It exercises a direct control over its members, but in modern times, this function of family has sharply declined. Senior members of the family used to directly control the behavior of the children. The norms, values and traditions on the whole, the culture transmitted from generation to generation. Now, it fails to exercise the same authoritative control over its members. Because of this, family became disorganized. It became no more a custodian of culture. No doubt, changes have occurred in all the functions of family, but it is not completely devoid of these functions. Family still continues to perform these functions, of course with some modifications, and is persisting as one of the most important social institutions. Family cannot avoid its functions relating to satisfaction of sexual need, reproduction, protection and care of children and establishment of household life. Any doubts, any clarifications on this topic?
Ma'am, you told about polygamous and polyandrous family systems. Are they existing in India?
In India, polygamous and polyandrous family were in the history. We see it in mythology. However, at present in India, only patrilocal family is being practiced. Patrilocal family means where one man gets married and sets up a new house. So, students, with this we conclude the part 1 of socio-economic analysis of communities. Thank you.